Well, disassembling the Harley took a lot longer than I expected, but I tell you what, I was really excited once we knew we could turn that thing over. I think we can get that going now, although Lex thinks otherwise. All we've got to do now is sand that thing back, paint it, find all the missing components, and make ourselves a Harley drift trike. Sounds easy, right? And a new fridge.
This is the Hellbear Garage. The engine's apart, and we just bought another drift trike, not like another Harley, like but with the frame and stuff. We're going to use the handlebars and some of the other stuff. Hopefully it turns out well.
One of the biggest parts of building a project like this is actually sitting in front of a computer and ordering all the parts and finding all the parts that you need. I actually found a heap of parts in America and got them air freighted over here. Here we go, delivery update. What says, this package is undeliverable and is in the process of being disposed of in accordance with local guidelines. Wow, that's awesome. That's all our brakes and everything, and according to this, I'm really hopeful that this is wrong, says it's going to be disposed of, so ideal. We sort of left hanging there for a little while whilst we went back and forth with a supplier, and they've kindly put another package together and sent it back with the same freight company though, so I'm not sure if they're actually going to arrive or not, but I'm not sure what they thought I had in there, but I can assure you it was just pieces of aluminium and some nuts and bolts, we think. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Another wrecked Harley. It's been quite a challenge to find parts at a decent price, so I think this is the cheapest way for us to get an ECU, a wiring loom, etc. What do you think, Lex?
Yeah, I think so. Talk us through what happened to the light bulb.
Well, a little bit like the other Harley, they've crashed it into something and bent the forks, busted the light bulb or headlight, and bent the frame. So frame's no good, but the wiring loom,
it's good.
the handlebars, good. We've got cousin Mace here, he's going to help us. He thinks it's a great idea what we're doing.
As if.
Look at all this good gear. It's good gear, Lex. You excited?
Not really.
I'm excited.
You spent way too much money. Well, I feel like you're not going to be able to earn that money back in about 4 years.
Well,
and this will take 2 months. So,
I bought all this with your pocket money.
If you did, I would be very upset.
Yes! Now we're getting somewhere. Woo! And you're going to be a fair bit lower, so I'm going to hope that the handlebars are still okay. There might be. So if I can just undo here and just twist it down and then rotate these back up and might swing. The engine had been subject to obviously a lot of heat, so we needed to clean it up in preparation to paint it and make it look nice. So a couple of different methods that you can use for that. One's dry ice blasting. We couldn't get our hands on one of those machines, they're quite expensive. Another way is sandblasting, and everyone says don't sandblast an engine, so of course we sandblasted the engine. What are we doing?
Taping it.
So a couple of hours help from nephew Mace. We've got it all taped up, ready to sandblast, and not sure how we're going to go with a sandblaster. Shoot the
there's this big container of sand, and it's like an air compressor, but you spray things, and it reaches all the rusty spots, so they're not rusty anymore.
Not done that before, so hopefully we've covered everything up. We don't get sand inside anywhere we don't need sand. We'll give it a go.
Is this dangerous at all?
Well, Lex's hair, I mean, that's been a big topic in our family for, I guess, nearly 18 months, as long as he's been growing it. He looked a bit messy. We obviously wanted him to cut it, but we let him do what he wanted to do there. You know, if he wants to have long hair, he can try it, but...
So we keep forgetting to cut my hair, and then I'm like, I like my long hair, I'm going to keep it. And then I'm like, screw it. I want a Tony Hawk cut. I'm at the house just doing my thing. I'm like, he went down, sat in the barber's chair.
Yeah, the vacuum cleaner technique is actually one that I use when I cut my own hair. And I don't know why everyone doesn't use a vacuum to cut their hair.
He just puts the vacuum cleaner and he just chops it and it just gets sucked up. It's so funny.
I actually thought of making a special little attachment, like with a height pin, so you can just go over it at the right height and just, with a shaver, and it just cuts it as you go to the exact same height. It's a perfect idea for an invention. Might be the next project we do here. How do you look? So, what's RPM mean?
RPM.
Really proper mental?
RPM. Reps per minute.
Yes! What is all this? What does this connect to? I'll tell you what, I'm going to do all the fab work and I'll rebuild the engine. You sort the wiring out. Check this out. Look at this, it's a vicinity key. That's the key for it. How cool is that? It's cool, isn't it? What do you reckon?
Open.
So the other things that we've got a spare starter motor with it. We've got the brakes, all the brake master cylinders come with it. The brake calipers, that's good. The air intake, which is good because the other one melted clean off it. The brakes, the pedals, a box of bolts.
Where does this go?
It goes in your pocket. You only have to be near the bike for it to register, just like a car. This wiring's going to be a problem, mate, when we get to that, because I got no idea how that connects. There's ECUs and stuff everywhere. But anyway, I'm sure that you'll sort it out, yeah?
No.
How you going?
Hello.
You good?
Yeah.
So Charlie has actually helped me through my career, I guess, from machining and building the race engines for the last 22 years. He's sort of renowned as the best sort of machinist with the blocks and all the stuff that we use in our race engine. I've got some of this stuff to drop in your tanks. And through that process, I found he's got this really special tank that you put all your dirty parts into and it cleans them up to be brand new. So with the Harley, everything burnt and plastic melted on it, we took all the parts down there to get them a bit of a freshen up.
Can do that, no problem, and you might have to just glass bead blast it.
After.
Yeah, we've got the machine out the back, you can do that, no problem.
I got no idea what's in Charlie's special tank, but it's pretty magical. You put the parts in dirty, the little thing goes down and they disappear, and it comes back up again and they're clean. Based off like, what more could you want? I think we need one of those in the house and in the shed and pretty much everywhere else, because it's a magic tank. Do you know the fish and chip joint number? Well, Charlie's very kind and generous, so he said, yeah, no worries, throw the parts in our tub, we'll clean them up. And it was Friday, and on Friday we get fish and chips down that way.
Piece of flake.
Yeah.
A couple of dim sims.
Yeah. We shouted Charlie and the boys some fish and chips in exchange for some nice clean parts.
This is Rick's room.
Shit, it's brand new.
Yeah, like that. That's called a cammer. It's an engine Ford developed in mid-60s, early 60s, and to compete in NASCAR.
Really?
Against the Hemi, the 426 Hemi. So this is a 429 cubic inch, single overhead cam.
So what's not brand new there though, the whole thing?
The whole thing's brand new, it's repo.
Yeah?
It's a repo. So they made them to compete in the NASCAR against the Hemis, and they got banned before they hit the track.
Really?
Yeah. So then
good.
Ford sold them off for, they put them in some early Comets and stuff like that. And then I think mostly gone to drag races. Should make 700 horsepower, 650, 700 I reckon.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So we sandblasted the engine, came up real nice. However, when you sandblast an engine, you tape everything up, which we did. You tape it up real good, which we didn't. And I think it's broken through the tape and there's been a little bit of what you call media or sand go into one of the compartments in the engine, which is really bad. So what we're going to do is just sandblast the engine, paint it, chuck it in, start it, hope for the best. Now we're going to rip the engine down and start from scratch, rebuild it, and I have no idea how to do it. You concentrating? What are you doing?
Racing. The electrics are down here. I have no idea what they do, which is concerning. Both of us have no idea what they do. We're just trying to clean out some stuff here in the Hellbank garage. Before we even made the project, I didn't even know what Harley Davidson is.